In 2002, my worst nightmare became a reality, and I was raped. I was raped by a U.S.military serviceman, and I immediately went to the Japanese police, hoping and believing that they would help me. Instead, I was treated like a criminal. Then I was to realize that rape test kits were non-existent, and that there was not even one 24-hour rape crisis center. This is when my journey began, because in 2002, I realized if nothing was available for rape victims in Japan, then who was going to stand in honor and, start something for rape victims who would unfortunately come after me? So I did. I began the grassroots movements in Japan in 2002. Over these past 10 years, I have had the opportunity and honor to meet so many beautiful and amazing people. Some of them victims themselves. Some of these survivors kindly allowed me to interview them. Here are their stories. Their stories are our stories.
迷路の中に入れられたように出口を探しても見つからず、何年ももがき苦しみ続けました。誰かに迎えに来てもらいたかった。誰かに出口はここだよと教えてもらいたかった。暗い森に迷い込んだように、怖くて一人ぼっちで早く出たいと願うのに出られませんでした。ずっと性犯罪被害者は恥ずかしいと思ってきました。口に出すことをタブーとされてきた日本で、私はジェーンさんに巡り合ったことで日本以外の教育を知りました。そして今、蓋をした箱の中から抜け出し、こんなにも大きな空に目を向けることができました。そうしたら、加害者はなんてちっぽけなんだろうと思えるようになりました。私はなんて美しい人間だろうと思えるようになりました。この大きな世界は私に生きるメッセージを与えてくれました。私は自分自身を誇りに思います。
When I was a little girl, I should have lived freely, but instead I live with so much pain. They told me not to tell, oh, my family wouldn't love me. What was I to do but live alone?
Well, my name is Latanya Whitaker, and I've been living here in Tokyo, Japan for almost 6 years. It'll be 6 years in August. I'm an English teacher, singer. Came to Japan because of mission work, and I teach English at the church that I've been attending for this past 6 years, I guess, almost 5 or 6 years. When I was a kid, I was, I guess, around the age of 7. Actually, I don't remember all the age because I was molested for a long time. The memory of all of that, I still don't have everything because I blocked out a lot. Everyone told me If I told my father or if I told my family, I would ruin his ministry or I would hurt them and they would hate me. And they always told me I needed to keep quiet or something devastating would happen. So I thought as a child that I was protecting my family. I wish I had told my parents. And I didn't. And I that's something that I wish I could go back and change. But you know, when you're at that time, sometimes you just feel like it's just something that you can't do. But it had many friends. But a lot of people will look at me and say, why would he rape you? Or why would this happen to you? So for the different situations that, you know, as though I wasn't beautiful or something. I don't know what they were thinking. Because I am. So I really I had a relationship, but didn't really take my relationship with the Lord seriously. So when I went to university and I was going through so much pain, and that was right after the rape, and I was went down some paths that I don't necessarily, that were not good for me. I made a lot of mistakes after trying to get some kind of control of my life. But I was still in pain and I needed something. And then I just cried out to God, and God just really filled me with a lot of love and sent me great friendships of people who filled me with really good love. And after that situation is when I was able to tell my family about my molestation and my rape. And it was very painful for them because they were like, why didn't you tell us? After the molestation, that's when I gained a lot of weight. For me, I started eating. I did that because at that time, a lot of kids that were overweight, they would get teased and stuff like that, and people would leave them alone. And I thought that if I had gained lots of weight, that a child thinking, if you can make yourself look bad, I thought at the time that they would leave me alone. I never really cared about myself. And that's what that whole process was to tell me, is that I always was caring about, my father, was he going to get hurt? Was my mother going to get hurt? My friends. And one of the things about being molested or being raped or something like that, some people, and a symptom is that you become people pleasers. And that was me. I wanted to please people and always make people around me happy. But for myself, I never really took care of myself. And I realized that it was this time in my life that God wanted me to take care of myself, that I mattered. And then when I finally opened up and told somebody, it was like a release. It was my first step into freedom. And yes, we can find some freedom, but we have to talk to people. But with the family, just trust them. They might just surprise you and be there to help support you.
When I was a little girl growing up in Australia, one of my favorite places to play was in our garden underneath the weeping willow tree. The leaves were like curtains in my make-believe little house in the sun. This freckled-faced little girl, me, was so innocent and carefree and oblivious to the hatred, racial prejudice, and heinous crimes that happened in the world. So after I was raped, that was one of the places that I wish that I could have been able to return to. So in 2002, when I was raped, as I had immediately, sought help from the Japanese police, I was so surprised that I was treated like a criminal. I mean, this would never happen in Australia. The first priority and protocol would be to ensure that the rape victim was safe, mentally stable, and that medical care was made available to her immediately. In my case, the Japanese police told me that I had to look for the rapist. And even though I had begged them that I needed to get to a hospital for my injuries, they told me that I was not hurt enough. Instead, they took me back to the place where I was raped. I was forced to go there and forced to take photos, which they claim were protocol for pursuing a rape case in Japan. I was forced to take off the blanket that I was wearing from my own car and stand there and point to the empty car park where I was raped. I actually did think at that time, if there was a hole in the ground, I wish I could crawl into it and die. I was thinking that perhaps then I would be able to go to the hospital, but again I was wrong, and I was told that I had to go back to the police station for questioning. I kept on continuing to beg to go to hospital, but the police told me that it was pointless for me to go to hospital. So I was forced to sit in a cold police station amongst all policemen. I had held off going to the toilet for, I would say, about 4 hours. Then I decided that I would ask for permission to go to use their washroom so I could try and save the evidence, the sperm that was inside my body, by myself. I couldn't find anything in their dirty toilet to save the forensic evidence. But one thing I did find, that inside that small toilet cubicle was the safest place I felt. Inside of the entire police station, with so many policemen who were supposed to have been there to protect me. But the toilet felt safer than them. I mean, what does that say? But even after that, they made me wait there until the next morning. So I was escorted by 3 policemen to a hospital of their choice. And still a rape test kit was not done for me. Furthermore, after that, I thought that I could still be able to leave then, but I was still forced to stay in the police station for a few more hours. I was at the point of collapse, that I really wished that if there was somehow that I could kill myself, then I would have been able to be released from their captivity. So this is kind of like my journey. For 10 years I started my activities as a grassroots advocate to stop these barbaric procedures that the Japanese police still have in existence right now. Even the protocol reenactment photographs that rape victims must do, which is where we have to take photos of the rape from the beginning to the end of the rape act, which I really do question. What person could do this? What person could reenact photos of a rape crime against them? My PTSD was bad enough being raped, but also the second rape against the Japanese police caused me a lot of trauma, and even though I do try to forgive these people who have hurt me so bad, I will never forget, and this is the reason why I continued with my struggle for making a difference in Japan. I have lived in Japan for almost 30 years, and to be really honest, the last 10 of them wasn't living. I was a walking corpse. But previously, before the rape, I was a successful, creative, outgoing young woman who was on TV and did various TV commercials, modeling jobs. And then in 2002, I became Jane, the Australian rape victim. It was very easy for me to, when people asked and said, "Hi, how are you?" I could just say, "I'm fine, thank you." But inside, I had so much hurt that there was no place for the hurt to go anymore. And this was a very, very tough time for me these last 10 years. But never once did I give up my advocacy for the people in Japan. I had been there in the dark depths of hell that I had been imprisoned in. But what about these small children who also had nowhere to go to? I mean, how could they actually do reenactment photographs of the crime against them? It was so bizarre that I knew that I had to do something. Following, I now have a few interviews with some rape victims who were children at that time. Please listen to their stories too.
私が初めて義理の父からレイプされたのは7歳の時でした。彼は私に、母には絶対に言うなと言いました。彼にレイプされる時はいつもそれが夢であるのだと思っていました。でもそれは現実でした。彼は16年間私をレイプし続けました。もう私を傷つけないでほしいと懇願するたびに、父親からレイプされている小さい少女は他にもいるのだと彼は私に言いました。私は同じようにレイプされている少女に会いたい、話したい、そう願っていました。なぜなら私がどう感じているか、彼女なら理解してくれるはずだから。今日大人になった私は被害者として声を上げます。子供を救うことができるかもしれないという望みを持ってこのメッセージをあなたに届けます。誰かに話したい、助けてほしいと思っていたあの時を私は一瞬たりとも忘れたことがありません。あの時誰も助けてくれる人はいませんでした。義理の祖父が私に性的な虐待をし始めた時、私はたった5歳の幼い女の子でした。みんなが庭に出ている時、彼は私を台所に呼び、私にいい子になるようにと言いました。私の胸がどれほど大きくなったか確かめるために、私の体を触らなければならないと。そして彼はビールの匂いのする息で私にキスをし、いい子だいい子だと言うのです。なぜ信頼されるべき人間が罪のない子供の人生を恐怖に陥れるのか、私には今も分かりません。彼が癌で死んだ時、涙なんかこれっぽっちも出ませんでした。
Even though the journey from victim to survivor was a difficult one, looking back now, actually when I did the interview with Dr. Watanabe about the rape test kits, which have been implemented into Japan, I'm very pleased that I was a major part of the movement for sexual assault victims in Japan.
ジェインと出会って話した時にジェイン自身が、レイプをされた後 きちんと急性期の対応してもらえなかったっていうことを知って、日本では被害者に対する急性期の対応がないっていうことが驚きの種でした。そこでジェーンと一緒に彼女の母国の、急性期に使うレイプテストキットっていうのがあるんですけど、それをですね見せてもらって、彼女の提供してくださったキットを元にして子供用のキットを作らなければっていう動き始めました。教育者とか医療従事者とか保育者自身がね、性被害を否認する、性被害なんてあるもんかっていうふうにして、伏せてるっていう口封じするっていう傾向がものすごく強いので、まず全国の保育園、幼稚園、それから育児支援をする方たちや小学校、中学校、あるいは高校の教師がですね、この事実を性被害で苦しむ、子どもたち、それも男女問わず男の子もあるんだっていう事実をですね、こう見つめていくっていう、その動きをですね全国的に展開する必要があると思います。まだまだだと思うんですね。ほんの一部の人が気がつき始めてるけれども、まだまだ大人がですねこの問題に対して、目をつぶってはいけないと思うんです。
In 2002, I did seek legal justice in the courts of Japan, but to my disbelief, the U.S. military actually discharged the rapist in such an important court case. And even though I had stood with courage and with honor, he fled the country like a coward and walks a free man, even now in the United States. This in itself is a shame and a crime. I recall that in 2002, I founded Warriors Japan, which was my network internationally and domestically. I met with Margie, the founders of Lamplighters in the United States, and then I founded Lamplighters in Tokyo, which was the first international group for Lamplighters. And looking back, I see that in 2008, I was also the first woman to speak out in public about being a rape victim, and that was in Okinawa, in front of an audience of almost 10,000 people. And it wasn't about me being an Australian and the audience being mainly Japanese. It was about all of us being one, with one dream to stop rape. After I stepped down from the podium, a 70-year-old woman was waiting for me, and she came up to me and grabbed my hand and said, "Thank you. Thank you, Jane. Thank you so much." And she explained to me how she had been a rape victim almost 50 years ago. And she said to me, "Thank you, and from today I'm going to live my life." And so when I published my book, which in Japanese is called Jiu no Tobira, Kyou kara omokiri ikishite ikou, which means the door to freedom, to live your life from today. And I don't know her name, but to me her name was Okinawa. I actually dedicated this book to her and to other rape victims in Japan. And for the past 10 years, Jane, me, had lectured at various universities, had given numerous press conferences and seminars, and had spoken in front of so many different people. I received a letter of honor from the Prime Minister of Japan and also one from the Prime Minister of Australia. And I think that a lot of people thought that Jane was really strong. But inside I was not strong. I was still hurting very, very badly from the way I had been treated and with my PTSD. And a lot of people said to me, "How can you continue to do this? Where do you get your strength from?" Because I knew that it was the right thing that I was doing. It was the honorable thing to do, and no one else was doing it. And I really wanted to make a difference through my experience, to make it better for the next rape victim in Japan. And so for these last 10 years, whilst I have been doing my activities, Jane had always worn the sunglasses that I'm wearing right now. And that was not because I was ashamed, but it was because everywhere I went to speak out at these rallies, The secret police would be there. Sometimes people would come up to me on the train and take my photograph. And sometimes the secret police were standing outside my house. But it was never about being ashamed. It was always about protecting my family. I had also been doing court cases in Japan for almost 9 years. But over these past few months, and actually yesterday it was my birthday, I went through a major transition in my life. And I realized for me to completely heal was for me to completely be free. I wanted so many times to be free from the PTSD and the prison that I was inside my heart for so many years with pain. And people had always known me as Jane, the Australian rape victim. But actually, I am Jane. I am Catherine Jane. And the reason why I'm taking off these sunglasses today is because I think that this is actually the last step for me in my complete healing and in my freedom. Okay, well, the title of this documentary film is Make Me Proud. And there's a special reason behind that. And that is because my boyfriend, who I love so much, came over to my house one day with a present for me, and that was a laptop computer, which was for me to finish my second book that I have been working on for almost 10 years. And when he took it out of his bag, he said to me, "Make me proud." Recently it dawned on me that I had to be proud of myself, and I had to relearn how to love myself again after I'd been raped. And now I do. And now I am so proud of myself. And I love myself too. And that was how I was able to heal. That was how I found my door to freedom, and how I live my life today with every minute just loving every second of it. Today I hope that if anybody who is watching this documentary film is a rape victim, or a victim of anything for that matter, I hope that you don't take 10 years like I did to reclaim your life and to live your life in freedom. Because your life is so precious, and you can live your life from today. You just need to reclaim it and live it. In my case, the man who raped me still walks a free man, even though he was found guilty in Japan. But now I am free, and I am healed, and I am proud. I would like to thank every individual person who supported this documentary film. There is hope, there is healing, there is dignity after the storm. Stand proud.
He covered me with his love, and now I am filled with peace, and now I'm free to live again, I'm free to breathe again, I'm free to open my heart and receive your love. I'm free from the pain I felt, to open my despair. I gave it all to him, and now I'm free. Yes, I gave it all to him, and now I'm free. You can give it all to him, and you'll be free.
There will come a day when everyone will say with me, it's not okay. it's not okay. All the survivors around the world, you are heroes and deserve awards for your courageousness, trying to save others from coming forward. You are not alone. Keep your head up, keep your heart strong. Take back your life and live it. You did nothing wrong.